everyone, and welcome again to the Doctor Show. I'm Dr. Zahra here, and as usual, we're going to talk about healthcare. We're going to talk about a lot of problems and diseases you've been wondering about. Today's topic is quite important. Actually, it's one of the most important episodes I've ever done. It's one of the most important things I've ever actually talked about. We're going to talk about the sun. So, what about the sun? We all know that summer is coming up. We all know that even here in our climate, in the winter, the sun is quite strong. So the sun is actually very, very, very dangerous. I know sun is basically life. Sun is responsible. Without the sun, we won't be alive. I'm quite sure of that. But the most important thing that we should protect ourselves from the sun. There is something called UV lights, which is an ultraviolet rays coming from the sun. It's actually very harmful. That's why sometimes we have sunburns if we stay in the sun for so long. So what actually protects our skin from it? We have something called an ozone layer, which is a layer in the sky that actually protects our body from that UV rays. But now, since the depletion of the ozone layer is not that protective anymore, and even if we have it super protective, we should still protect ourselves from the UV rays. What should we do to actually protect ourselves from it? And before we actually answer that, we should know that what is so dangerous about the sun rays? What is so dangerous? We have so many reasons, but first of all, and most important, you can get sunburnt because of the UV rays that I just mentioned now. So what do you mean? Sometimes if you stay in the sun for quite some time, for a few minutes, it depends on your skin type actually. Some skin types, especially for redheads, it's much more sensitive for the sunlight. And other skin types, actually with darker skin, you might be more resistant to the sun rays. But no matter what, you can get a sunburn because of it. And the sunburn will be burning. It will take quite some time to actually heal it. So you have to protect yourself from the sunburn. What about the other reasons? Actually, I'm going to say something might sound overreacted and might sound quite dramatic, but too much sunlight could actually cause skin cancer. Yes, I actually did say that. Skin cancer is one of the commonest diseases in the US. Every single year, 71,000 people are diagnosed with skin cancer. So you can see how important that is to protect ourselves from the skin. And nearly 30% of them can protect themselves from this cancer just by wearing a sunblock or a sunscreen. So why does it actually make cancer? Because the sun rays are very, very, very dangerous. And I'm not saying if you go to the sunlight for 5 minutes, you're going to get skin cancer. Of course not. People who actually have their jobs more likely to stay in the sun for a long time, like workers, labor workers, like drivers when they drive all day long and the sun on them for years and years. Like any job, like security people, like any job that makes you stay in the sun for a really, really long time every single day. Yes, you are liable to have skin cancer. You're liable to have types of skin cancer, not just one type. What about number 3? Number 3 could cause you premature aging. What does that mean? It just simply means wrinkles. So people below the age of 55, they're more likely to actually get wrinkles than the people who in the sun, than the people who don't get exposed to the sun. Yes, it actually can cause you wrinkles very, very young in your life, like at the end of 40 and 50, and it's actually an accumulation of years and years and years. It doesn't just actually make you have wrinkles right away. I'm not saying if you go outside in the sun right now for like 5 hours, you're gonna have wrinkles coming back. Of course not. But it could actually make you have wrinkles very, very early in your life in the long run, which is like a few years. And I don't think any of us would like to have wrinkles. So yeah, that's another reason. What about the last reason, which is basically pigmentation on the face? A lot of people would have darker spots on the face, especially around their mouth, on the forehead. It's gonna get much, much darker than the rest of the face. So your face will basically look different colors, and it's actually not so pleasant and would actually cause you some like psychological like low mood and all of it looking at your face, and then people would have to put a lot of makeup to cover it and all of that. So just protect yourself from the sun, as easy as that. So all in all, I'm going to recap what I said. All the bad things about the sun. Number one, you can get a sunburn from the UV light. Number two, you can actually get skin cancer, which is very, very dangerous. And number three, you can get premature aging, a lot of wrinkles, and then eventually you might have skin pigmentation on your face, which is not so nice to feel, not so nice to have. And all of these problems could actually cause you psychological problems. You would feel very bad looking at yourself in the mirror, seeing wrinkles or seeing pigments. And of course, you would not ever want to have skin cancer. Even the treatments for skin cancer, it could be very easy. We just take the skin out and wait to see if it's ever going to come back or not. But no one wants to have a skin cancer that is easily preventable. So what do we actually do to prevent all of that? So what to do to actually protect yourself? The first and most important thing is to wear a sunscreen or a sunblock. What is this? It's something, a product you can easily get from any pharmacy to actually put it on your skin and apply it and let it protect your skin. So what are the details about? Is it safe to put? Is it safe for children? Yes, a lot of sunscreens are actually safe for children, so you have to make sure to read at the bottle and see if it's actually safe for children, because it is important to put it for the children. What is the most important thing more than that? You can actually read at the bottle to see how many times you should put it a day. You can't just put it once in the morning and wait for it to protect you all day long. You should see something called an SPF on top of the bottle. What is an SPF? SPF is actually a number you should see. If your skin usually gets a sunburn in 10 minutes, the SPF, the number like 15, it protects your skin 15 times more than the sunburn. So if your skin usually gets sunburned in 10 minutes, the SPF 15 will make it 150 minutes. So can you see how much is it important? And because we have a very, very, very strong sun, especially here, the area we're living in, it's recommended, the doctors say, you can never decrease out of less than SPF 30. Can you imagine? And sometimes they tell you take SPF 50. So can you see how much it's important that we actually apply it a few times? Can we take it with us to our bag? Yes, put it in your bag. Just like when you put tissues, when you put hand sanitizer, you should put the sunscreen with you and apply it every couple of hours, depending on what the bottle says. So we should apply sunscreen. And by the way, you can even apply it on top of a makeup. If you're a girl and you have makeup on, it will not ruin your makeup. You can just apply it on top of the makeup and you're good to go to be in the sun for a whole day. What other things that we should do to protect ourselves from the sun? Of course, the sunscreen is not enough. We should actually protect ourselves from other things. We should wear big hats, big broad hats for us to protect from the sun. We should actually, they say that covering your clothing with darker color clothing will actually have more protective layer of your skin than any other thing. What else we should do? We should actually avoid the sun from 10 a.m. until 5 or 4 p.m. This is the strongest sun could it be, the strongest light that we have, the strongest UV light that we have. You should wear glasses, sunglasses, to protect your eyes from the sun, especially at like 12 or 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. when it's super strong. What else you can do? You should actually stay away from any reflective surfaces like the water, like the sand. All of these things, they reflect the heat, and you should actually stay away from them. Sometimes you can even get sunlight and sunburn from a cloudy weather. Okay, the cloudy weather is actually the sun rays, the UV rays, they actually do cross the clouds. So if you want not to put the sunscreen just because the weather is cloudy, you're wrong. No, you have to put it every single day. And when you get back home, you have to rinse it. You have to clean your skin, clean your pores, and then go to sleep. And you should know that a child's skin is very, very delicate. If you have children and you're afraid that they're gonna get sunburned, The child's skin will not show the burn maybe until 12 hours. So if you had him to the pool today, maybe he was going to show the sunburn tomorrow morning. So you have to take care of that, because sometimes it's get a little bit red. If he has a sunburn, it's going to get burned. It's going to literally burn. So you have to actually take care of that. What else? Please stay safe. I always tell you to stay safe, to actually use all the measures to protect yourself, and please put on your sunscreen. It's one of the most important things you should ever do. It's more important than makeup, than your hat, than everything else. Sunscreen is one of the most basic things you have to put in your bag going out. And if you need any more information about the sunscreen, you have to make your own research, you have to Google it, you have to actually read from credible resources about the differences of the sunscreens, and please make sure you read the bottle of the sunscreen to make sure your weather is very good for the type you're using. That's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good day.